For 12 NBA seasons, 2 words personified style, competition, and athletic excellence. Magic Johnson.
I plan on going on living for a long time.
And he has, becoming a member of the legendary Olympic Dream Team, in addition to an NBA comeback. But since then, there's been so much more than basketball. His company, Magic Johnson Enterprises, has become an economic superstar as well, starting in the movie theater business and now involved in massive infrastructure projects like airports in Denver and New York City, and media and technology ventures.
It's really important that we make a positive impact on the community.
But he still has a hand in the world of sports. He was president of basketball operations for the Lakers until this spring and is a co-owner of the LA Dodgers, the WNBA's LA Sparks, and Major League Soccer's Los Angeles Football Club. This summer, Johnson and his wife Cookie celebrated their 60th birthday in the south of France with a group of A-list friends like J-Lo, Angela Bassett, and Spike Lee. Magic Johnson, 60, and still going strong. Magic Johnson, so good to see you.
You too, Craig.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Let's start, because you live out in California.
Right.
As you know, they just passed this law out there that would allow college athletes to get paid for endorsements. They make money off their likeness. They can hire agents. You played in what's still the most watched college basketball game in history, if I'm not mistaken, Michigan State, Indiana State, you and Larry Bird. Did you think when that law passed, I could have cashed in?
Well, Larry and I could have cashed in after that game, of course. But, you know, the law is good for the, I think, players, the athletes, the student athletes, because, listen, you don't make any money. You can't get a job while you're playing at your university. So this allows them to at least have a little money in their pocket to enjoy college and enjoy just going out to dinner and lunch or taking their girlfriend to a movie.
So you think all college athletes should be able to be paid?
I think so. And listen, we're not talking about thousands and thousands of dollars, but just enough for them to have a great life while they're on campus.
I want to clear up some confusion while you're here. Recently, I talked to your boy, Michael Jordan.
Yes.
And I asked him a question. First of all, I asked him, like, on his 5, like, best 5 all time, who's on his team? He picked you, of course. Yes. You're one of his 5. And then he said something else that made some news. Take a listen.
When I'm going in the trenches, I played against and with all these guys. I'm going with who I know. Every single night, that responsibility to go out there and represent greatness every single night.
So Steph Curry shouldn't be offended when he watches this.
I hope not. He's still a great player. Not a Hall of Famer yet, though.
Not a Hall of Famer. And then, so you tweeted, like 2 days later, I want to put the tweet up for our viewers at home. You tweeted, everyone relax. We know Steph Curry is a future Hall of Famer. Michael Jordan couldn't say it because he would get fined by the league. What do you mean by that? Is the league that sensitive? That constitutes tampering?
Yes. Michael Jordan is the owner. So, you know, Charlotte, he owns the team. And so if he had said great comments about Steph Curry, the other owners would think that he's recruiting him to come play for Michael. So Michael couldn't say it.
So, but
we know Steph Curry is a future Hall of Famer.
Okay.
I mean, the greatest shooter we've ever seen in the history of the NBA.
In the history of the league,
yes,
Steph Curry.
Yes, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, the 2 guys playing on the same team with Reggie Miller, with Ray Allen, and Larry Bird.
I'm glad you cleaned that up. Glad you cleaned that up.
Those guys, but I think Steph is the best.
Let's talk about something else that's been in the headlines a lot lately, the league's relationship with China. As you know, the general manager of the Houston Rockets, a few weeks ago, he tweets out basically supporting the protesters in Hong Kong. China then punishes the league. Right. And now you've got a relationship, a potentially multi-billion-dollar relationship that's hanging in the balance. How do you balance the issue of global freedom with the business interests of the NBA?
Well, I think that, you know, first, every individual has a right to, you know, freedom of speech. And I'm for freedom from all people. You know, we're fighting enough of that right here in America for minorities, African Americans, Latinos. That's what I've been about my whole life. Now, I think that we got the greatest commissioner, and Adam will figure out, you know, a solution to this. And I think that all the players are putting their trust, and the owners are putting their trust in Adam Silver. And I think he will deliver a solution. So it's all about a solution now. We know there's a problem. Right. But what is going to be the solution?
How do you think the league's handled it so far?
Well, it's a tough situation because you're thinking there's billions of dollars at stake here. So I think that everybody was caught off guard.
Yeah.
And it's nothing that, listen, you're putting the players in a tough position. LeBron's been put in a tough position. Adam Silver's been put in a tough position. And so I think that now they got to come together, players, owners, and Adam, and come up with a solution that is going to be good for the league as well as good for people who live in Hong Kong and people in China.
Hard to believe it's been 28 years ago, roughly around this time, that you told the world that you were living with HIV. Mm-hmm. If someone had told you then that not only would you be alive today, but you would be thriving in every sense of the word, would you have believed them?
No. 28 years ago, one drug, ACT, it was a death sentence at that time, and here I am 28 years later. And like you're saying, having a great life, and I work out every day. I make sure that I'm eating the right foods. So, and also, too, my attitude and mindset really helped out as well. So,
what's the attitude and mindset?
I think just accepting your new status and being comfortable with it. And I accepted that. And then I had to talk to my doctors and say, how can I be here a long time? And they told me, take my meds, be comfortable with your status, but also you got to work out. So I've been doing those things.
And you've also demystified HIV and AIDS for a lot of folks. Back in the 90s when folks weren't talking about it, Magic really, I think for a lot of folks, you still have folks who come up to you on the street and say, hey, Magic, and they tell you their story. I would imagine.
Exactly. They were crying when I announced. But I got to give Elizabeth Glazier a lot of credit because she helped me. She died a year later or two of AIDS, but she was the one who made myself comfortable and my wife Cookie comfortable. And she just wanted me to be the face of the disease, and here I am 28 years later.
Speaking of Cookie, you guys, as I understand it, just threw an epic birthday bash south of France. You just turned 60, which is probably hard for a lot of folks to believe as well. So the A-list celebs include like Spike Lee and Angela Bassett, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yes. And then there was a fellow named Al Roker.
He didn't show up. I'm still looking for Al.
Why wouldn't Al show up to Magic Johnson's?
Because Al had a bum hip, and Al was covering Hurricane Dorian. Otherwise, I would have been.
So he doesn't show up,
Mrs.
and
Roker,
you sent him a birthday gift.
That's right.
Now, the wife showed up.
Mrs. Roker was there. Deborah Roberts was there.
And everything.
And I got a collection, not just one, not two, but 3 signed.
He skips your party, and he gets jerseys.
Yes, everybody, all the...
I had a ticket. I was going. It's called work. Try it.
Magic Johnson.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Great.
Thank you. So
and that was a great interview with Michael Jordan.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is my brother right here.
Yeah, Roker.
God, we go back a long way.
Yes, we do. And you can't miss the next one. No. And I'm inviting Craig.
That's right.
You heard? Now we've got tape to prove it. So when I show up, don't kick me out.
That's going to be the one you're on a Smucker's job. You, me, sitting there. Hi, how are you?
Mr. Daly.
Madge, if you're just throwing out invitations, I'll take one too. Why not?